had this Oregon Reproductive Medicine appointment today, and I'm not trying to down them or anything like that, because like they're probably just being honest with me and I don't like it. So basically she hadn't looked through all of my records, so I mean, I had given them the information to do that, but they just hadn't gotten around to it, I guess, so that's fine. She's gonna basically look at my records, but basically she was like, well, based on what you're saying, if you're having a period every month, even because my periods are so short, like 3 or 4 days, she's like, so you know, you're having these periods, but you should be ovulating. And then when they did the progesterone test on you, you weren't ovulating that time. So they're like, that doesn't really make any sense. And I'm like, well, girl, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is what's happening, you know what I mean? Like, I can't do anything more than what you're telling me. Like, you're telling me to track my periods, I am. And then that time they asked me to like monitor my ovulation with the little sticks and stuff. I did all that, and I like literally never ovulated the entire time until my next period. So and then I took the progesterone test like they asked me to, and it was like 0 basically. So so that was problematic. I don't know, I'm trying not to cry. I'm just upset because it's like there's just been so much going on, and like some of it's my fault, and then some of it's like I can't control the fact that doctors leave clinics and stuff like that, and I'm trying to get all my records like sorted out, and like, you know, I mean, I don't want to blame other people because it's not other people's fault, you know, that people leave clinics and stuff, but I guess I'm just flustered because it's like I felt so hopeful from this one appointment, and then today's appointment basically sounded like, you know, like everything's wrong, you know, and I don't know if I'm just misinterpreting or I'm hearing what I want to hear. But basically, so we've got a plan of action as far as what we're doing, but then she basically, this is the part that's upsetting me. I'm trying to work through it. So she's like, well, at your age, and if you've been trying for like 1.5 years, then, and you haven't got pregnant yet, then that means you're probably infertile. So that's what she said. So I don't know. I'm just like, how do you go from like being so hopeful, like you have eggs, that's what the doctor tells you, all your structures are good, and then you're just not ovulating, which they have a medication for, from that to, oh, like you must just be infertile. And then she's like, well, what about your mom's history? And I said, oh, my mom had endometriosis and had multiple miscarriages and was only able to have me. And she's like, well, that doesn't sound like endometriosis. That sounds like something else. So I'm just like, okay, well, how am I supposed to know that? Because my mom's dead. You know what I mean? Like, I can't ask her, so I don't know what else was going on. I just always was told it was endometriosis. Sorry, just like a lot of emotions for multiple reasons, but I feel like just so disheartened, like basically you're telling me about IVF and all this stuff, and I don't want to have to do all that, like, because I mean, I literally thought everything was fine, like, just needed a couple of things altered, like, get my hormones fixed, then we go from that to, oh, like, well, you're infertile, and then basically you're gonna have to do IVF or IUI, because it doesn't sound like the chances of you getting pregnant just naturally will work. I don't know. It's just, I guess I didn't expect to hear that today, so. I mean, obviously I still want to have a kid and I still want to get pregnant, so I'm going to do all these things that I need to do, but I don't know, I guess I just never thought about the possibility of it not being a thing. I just never thought it wouldn't be an option, I guess. So, I don't know, I'm just trying to interpret it. So you can tell I'm like kind of going through it over here, but I just don't know what else to do. Like, I'm gonna do everything they say to do, but then too, she's like, oh, well, with you having diabetes, you're basically automatically high risk. You should see like a high risk doctor and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a diabetic that long. My blood sugars are good. I get that there's more risk than a person who's not, but I mean, it basically made it sound like you're diabetic. You're basically like crap, you know? Like, why are you even trying to have a kid? I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just interpreting that. you know, it's like you hear one thing and then maybe I'm interpreting it as that, but it just felt bad. Like, oh, you have to see a high risk doctor because you're so high risk. And I'm like, dude, like, I came from one appointment hearing that, like, you're doing such a good job, like, everything's controlled, like, you're in such a good spot right now to have a kid, like, your A1C is really good, and, you know, your blood sugar's very, you know, blood pressures are very regulated, everything's good, you're losing weight, everything's going well, to, like, everything should, like, just start, you just scrap the idea, don't even try, like, that's how it felt. I don't know. And then it, like, too, with the PCOS thing, it doesn't even sound like they were even convinced it's even PCOS. So it's like, do I just not have PCOS? Like, what the hell's going on with me then? You know? I'm just fucked up? Or, like, I don't know if, too, because she hasn't seen my records, like, does she just not know all the background that I've been through already? So she's just, like, guesstimating that it could be all these problems. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is going through this too, but yeah. I just didn't want to give you guys, like, because I'm, like, actively making a video right now about, like, how good of a weekend I had, you know, but in reality, like, all days aren't good, you know. It was, like, my day off too, like, what a stupid ass thing to do, like, go have this serious appointment on my day off. Where I'm like, I should be relaxing and having a good day, you know, before I go back to work again. And instead I'm like, have this appointment and I'm gonna be freaking crying all day, you know? So, I don't know. I guess I should have just not said, like, most likely you're infertile. Like, I mean, am I crazy? Am I interpreting something wrong? Like, if you have eggs, your structures were normal when you had an ultrasound after the polyp. You didn't have cysts in your ovaries, you didn't have all these problems, like, it was literally just a hormone problem. How can you be completely infertile? Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, and I don't know if I'm just not getting it, or... And then I didn't want to cry in the Zoom meeting thing, because I was like, well, this is, like, all new news, I'm just trying to, like, absorb it, there's so much information. I took, like, 2 pages of notes on, like, what the hell's going on with me, or, like, what each procedure does and all that stuff. I don't know, because I'm just annoyed, you know, but this was me a very simple appointment. I literally thought we would have to have Georgia's semen tested. I, like, kind of knew that was gonna happen, like, they fair warned me about that, like, you should have that done, because obviously you don't know if that's a factor too, you know, so I kind of anticipated that happening. So I wasn't concerned about that, you know, okay, like, knew that was going to be a thing. And then I just assumed that we were going to do, like, basically my last doctor was like, oh, you'll need to take this medication to, like, make you ovulate. So I kind of figured that, but I don't know if, like, I was just thinking it was going to be easier than that, you know, like, okay, you just, like, you're supposed to ovulate, and you take a little medicine, and then, you know, you do what you normally do, but... I don't know, it sounds like it's more involved than that. I don't know, I'm just depressed about it. So, anyway, I don't know if you guys are going through the same crap or not, or, like, anyway, it just really sucks. Because it's like, this year is, like, I literally was telling him, like, when we were waiting for the Zoom call, I'm like, I really want to get pregnant this year. I mean, I wanted to get pregnant last year too, but, like, you know, with COVID, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's a sign that it just wasn't meant to be, just because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but, you know, I was like, okay, I feel like things are getting more positive, and I feel like it would be a good time, but yeah, I still feel super hopeful, so, I guess I'm just gonna live with that, and then I'm like, I don't even know, like, I mean, I guess I just don't want to do IVF because it sounds like it's not always a super high success rate, and then it's so expensive, which is ridiculous. Like, I guess it pisses me off too that, like, things that you need to have done, like IVF, are going to be super expensive, and it's not even a guarantee. So, and I mean, I don't know, and it's like, I mean, I have the money to do it, I have it saved, but I just don't want to like waste that money and then not get pregnant, you know? So, I don't know, just frustrated. I don't know what to do right now. So, I just figured I would share with you guys, like, if you don't want to watch this video, you can just skip it or whatever, but, you know, it's called reality. Like, things aren't always good. So, I don't know, I'm just not feeling very hopeful today. I feel like I have a plan, but it kind of, like, made it, I don't know, like, it just felt like it wasn't even, like, I mean, not that it's not worth trying, but, like, they just, I don't know, they were just, like, kind of such a downing appointment. Like, not even, like, any of this is hopeful. Like, oh, you're just infertile, so, and it's like, okay, you can't just tell people they're infertile, you know what I mean? Like, especially when they're hearing completely contradictory information somewhere else. Like, literally all the doctors I've seen have never once said, oh, well, you just are not fertile, you just can't do this, you know? Like, don't even basically try. Like, that's basically how it sounded to me. And I'm like, how is it possible? I've had my eggs tested and there were eggs there, and the structures were fine last time I tested them, which was like a year ago. So, I mean, like, what the hell happened in that time period? I'm having regular periods. Like, I don't know. And then it felt kind of like, too, I was like trying to gather all the data because it's been going on for so long, you know, about trying to like gather all the data on the phone. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I gave you guys all this information in advance, and then now I'm trying to like go through my own records on the same phone I'm doing the Zoom call on, like trying to find like, okay, what day did I go to Zoom care? What day did I have that lab test done? What day did I see this doctor? Excuse me. And then like try to find all this information over the phone. I'm like, you guys didn't look at anything beforehand, you know? They were like, asked me to send it 72 hours beforehand. I did. I don't know, I'm just super flustered. I mean, it's just bad news either way. So, I mean, here we are. So, I don't know. If you guys have any words of advice, let me know. Or if anybody's going through this, but it just sucks. I don't even have a hopeful message. I'm just gonna do everything they said, and, you know, hopefully one day I'll have a kid, I guess. So, and then plus I just turned 35, and she just kept bringing up that you're 35, and I'm like, dude, I just turned 35, like, what, literally 2 days ago? Like, you're acting like I'm over the hill. There's no point even trying. Just give up on life, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm 30, I mean, I get that that's not 20, but, I mean, I'm also not 55 trying to have a fucking kid, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just not feeling really great, so. Anyway, bye you guys.